So that's going to be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This deck of cards is huge and it's a little bit unwieldy to shuffle. So I will have to try my best. And we'll start with the sign of Taurus. Taurus, how have you been? What's been going on with you these days? Is that so? What brings you here today for a tarot reading? Okay. Yeah, you can just sit there and think for a little bit too, if you don't have necessarily a response to that question. Just going to get these a little bit mixed up. Just like me, I'm a little bit mixed up. I hope that's not too loud, and I apologize if my shuffling is too loud. All right, Taurus. Let's figure it out together. All right. And I'll put the timestamp here. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of reversals here, Taurus. Not all reversals. Wheel of Fortune twice. Okay. Let's start here. So this would have been in the past for you. We have the happy squirrel in the reverse. And there is a lemniscate at the top of this card. So you could even consider the possibility that this particular squirrel is quite special indeed and is being imbued, for whatever reason, with the infinite power of the Creator, of source energy. There's flame all around the squirrel, perhaps even burning down the forest. So what does the squirrel have to be so happy about? Is the squirrel itself the source of the fire? This could be seen as very similar to the magician in many ways. But rather than manifesting a specific goal, the happy squirrel would be creating something more like an egregore, something much more abstract, What kind of things would a squirrel manifest, given the power and the opportunity? Perhaps you look at this period in your life, Taurus, and you think about how far you've come. Here we've got the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So the kings are air sign energy, and then the other suits talk about the elemental energies. So King of Coins is often associated with your sign, Taurus. But we have the King of Wands here too. Now this could be a fire sign person who is around you, who is a partner to you perhaps. But that could also be an energy that you are embodying at this time, Taurus. So here we have this financially stable energy, the energy you are normally embodying. We have a lot of fire coming out with that happy squirrel card, and then again with the King of Wands. So there could be a lot of passionate energy around you and your endeavors at this time, Taurus. We have another card coming out that's often associated with your sign, which is the Empress. So this is a card that is ruled by the planet Venus in the major arcana. So through that association, it's also linked to Taurus and to Libra. And the Empress is a passive energy. She sits around and waits for others to bring her what she needs because she has that luxury in her life, the divine passive. Someone who, though, through that having things brought to them, creates their own things as well, like how we see the wheat sprouting up at the bottom. Very similar to the Queen of Pentacles. It's forms of passive income and things like that. But because we have a lot of active energy here with the two kings, I think that this is not a time for you to sit around and wait for things to pay off for you. And we're coming up on that first wheel of fortune here. We have a Four of Wands. This can be buying a house. It could be getting married. It's something that is a celebration that is worth celebrating. And is about an establishment. So something becoming established in your life. And that ending the first part of the cycle. Chapter 1. We have these two figures coming out. So one of these guys is probably up to no good. This other gentleman is the God of Flints. So the King of Swords in this deck. This power of logic I often associate with Libra energy. Then putting to rest all of these traits that come up with the Devil card. So this could be recovering from long-term circumstances, whether they are within your control or without, would have been something that you were really grappling with in your life. The forces of evil, where they are trying to do you harm. And justice has prevailed. King of Swords is kind of like the minor arcana justice card. And through this comes this change of fortune. So we have the publishing goblin and the Page of Swords coming out together. A lot of book energy, book learning, having to do with books. Maybe you're reading a lot at this time. Maybe you are writing and you have to do research about the things you are writing or for the things you're writing. This Page of Swords is a very interesting card. We've got this fish in this peculiar getup, a VW bus, it looks like, that water tower in the background, the moon and the sun in the sky at the same time. Could have to do with like when people lie about their fishing stories. People are telling you tall tales about how big the fish was that they caught. But this card showing up in the upright, you're going to see right through it. For some of you, it could be about work deadlines too, with the Publishing Goblin card there. Interesting. So we're leaving some things behind. You might have had housing insecurities in the past. We have the Queen of Strays and the Five of Pentacles coming up reversed. I think those are things that you'll be leaving behind you moving forward. And this might be the particular situation that does it. So coming out of where you conquer some of these things that have been troubling you or deviling you. Some of those things might be arguments or heartbreak. And then these cards having to do with housing insecurity or Queen of Strays, somebody being like having to move a lot and things like that. So now we're coming up on our next Wheel of Fortune. And along with that, Taurus, we have the Five of Mirrors reversed, and we have the Ace of Cups reversed. So the Five of Mirrors, 5 is a very difficult stop on the path through the minor arcana. So it's an area of great tension. And we can see there's a certain amount of heartbreak associated with this. She's got little hearts in her eyes that are broken. All the mirrors are broken, which can be a sign of bad luck. Right? You break a mirror, you get 7 years of bad luck. And I think what is going to happen here is that coming in for you with this change in fortune is going to be an emotional renewal that removes those elements of scarcity mentality from your life, Taurus. So things are about to get much better for you, possibly with a new job or possibly with a new assignment. It looks much more like either a new project you're going to be working on or something that's a little more self-guided than getting a brand new job, but it could be that also. So that is going to conclude the Taurus reading for this week. I'm going to go now and do the Virgo reading, the sign of Virgo. And then after I complete the Earth Signs live stream, I'm going to go over to the members side of the channel and do some crystal scrying with this piece of Icelandic spar. This was often used as a little except this would have been used in the daytime to determine the direction of the sun. You can see that light shines through at these different angles, and whatever angle would let you know what direction the sun was. If that is something that interests you, you're cordially invited. But your presence here on the channel, whether watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, clicking the little bell so you know when I go live, or commenting on the videos, all of those things are really greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so hazy. Why is it so hazy? I have a shameful confession to make while the camera is blurry and I'm shuffling, which is that I started smoking again. I had not smoked in so long, and then when my relationship fell apart, I started smoking again. So we're going to be reading for Virgo. How have you been, Virgo? What are you up to these days? What brings you here for a reading tonight? Yeah? You don't have to have a specific reason either. You can just be feeling the vibe. Try to shuffle these cards. It's very difficult to shuffle the whole deck because it's so... Oh, hi Marie. It's so good to see you. I don't want to be alone in my vices. And just allow your mind to wander while I finish up with the card shuffling. Okay. Grab a few from here. How much of this part? Okay. And these two cards. And some from near the top. These ones. And this card. Okay. And we'll put down the timestamp. And let's see what's going on here. Some fours reversed. So we have the Four of Pentacles, and we also have the Emperor reversed. There's a lack of control over one's ability to conserve your material resources. There could have been some kind of bureaucratic thing too, that you didn't get a tax return that you were expecting, or the government is demanding money from you for some particular reason, or court fine, or something like that. We have the Queen of Swords here. So the Queen of Swords is someone speaking their truth. This would be a very shrewd business person. someone very invested in their own personal truth and how they feel about it as well. And the edge of this card is gilded. This is a very fancy Queen of Swords. So, this being a minor arcana card, typically the minor arcana is seen as lesser to the major arcana. But in this particular case, this card has been made to be very, very fancy indeed. So there might be something that is getting dressed up that you feel like expresses your truth. And there might have been an expenditure of resources to make this happen. We have some reversals. There's a Six of Wands reversed. There is a Knight of Wands reversed, and the Three of Pentacles reversed. There's a delay in this victory where with the Knight of Wands there, that card is basically fire elemental energy. And so is very much about action being taken in certain things. But with this card reversed and the Six of Wands reversed, there's kind of like a delay. Everybody seems to be kind of chomping at the bit about it. But for whatever reason, it's not yet moving forward. So this could be a project that you're working on and your resources are depleting. Not necessarily that they have run completely out. We have a good old Rider-Waite Three of Pentacles reversed. This has to do with like professional reputation. Do people see you as reliable? Do people see you as capable of doing the job without too much supervision? So there might be elements of that in this delay, that people are not sure as to whether or not you will be the right person for the job. There's a new relationship coming in, but there's delays with the Hanged Man. Somebody might be waiting around for this relationship too. And it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be just a very close emotional partnership, and it could be tied up in this situation. And that's why this Knight of Wands is coming out reversed. The Hawk Moth. This is like one of those death's head moths. It's got the skull on its back. This is the second card. The caterpillars are known as hornworms. I pulled it up here on Wikipedia. Interesting. They drink from long-throated flowers such as trumpet vine and Jimson weed. The Death's Head Moth featured heavily in Silence of the Lambs, of course. It was kind of like a calling card of the murderer. And of course, the 2 in the major arcana would be something similar to the High Priestess. So something like a cosmic calling card when it comes to dealing with the higher power. Because the High Priestess, of course, is that conduit bringing the information down from source and interpreting it, but not necessarily sharing it with the general public. We have something like a family reunion card coming out. 10 of Cups, so emotional fulfillment. Excuse me. We also have these people who are engaged in some different pastimes, one of which, or the upright for this one, looks like some kind of bocce ball or bowling. The one at the bottom is more like shuttlecock, I think. So there could be a event coming up for you, Virgo, where there are going to be pastimes, and it's going to be a very emotionally fulfilling experience. Could be like a party, could be like a child's birthday, could be an adult's birthday. It could just be like a fun event that you attend with a lot of friends, maybe even mini golf or something like that. Giuseppe. So this guy is Giuseppe, and when you come across Giuseppe in the deck, draw 3 cards from anywhere. If they do not bring you happiness, put them back where you found them and draw 3 more. You may repeat this as many times as you'd like. If any other players are looking or feeling left out, share some cards with them. So before I continue, I'll take 3 cards from anywhere in the deck. And what we have here, we have one of the death cards reversed. We have the Empress. And we have lightning in a bottle. So there could have come a transformation for you that either it came with motherhood, that's a possibility, or that you transformed into a much more passive person. That's also possible. And that ends up being your lightning in the bottle, the thing that really kicks it off for you. Thank you, Giuseppe. Put those in the discard. All right. So back to it. We've got the alleyman and his dog. It's a very funny looking dog. It looks a lot like a weasel. So the alleyman, being the creator of this deck, the progenitor, if you will, the creator in some ways, but also a trickster. Not really on one side of the moral agenda or the other. We see that here depicted as this wheel with all the hands pulling the strings behind him. Or behind them. I like to think the alleyman is probably gender neutral. And this dog, the companion. A reminder that even the most powerful entities seek out companionship, loyal companionship, even from the strange and overlooked among us. There's going to be planning sessions late into the night. You've got the Two of Wands here and the Four of Swords. So the Two of Wands is charting a course somewhere, making plans, setting up your vision board. And the Four of Swords is about rest, and when it's reversed, it can indicate a period of time where you won't be getting much rest. So we've got the High Priestess receiving information and holding on to it to keep it safe. I'm going to put that with the Two of Cups, actually, over here. We have the Builder. So the Builder could be a bit like the Magician. It's very difficult to really tell much about this figure. They're kind of amorphous, very difficult to see what they actually look like. Perhaps they are constantly in that state of building and shifting shape. Perhaps as the High Priestess, as this entity shifts shape, new things are made part of the awareness, the consciousness, like a feedback between the transformation and the realization. And we have the Sun card in reverse. Sun card is always good to get in readings. When it's reversed, everything is almost perfect. Almost perfect because perhaps we don't have the strength to carry us all the way to the finish line. These are two Leo cards. So the sun itself is associated with the luminary, the sun, but through that association can be considered also having to do with Leo. And then, of course, the strength card reversed. So however much strength you are able to show in a situation, it will be that much better for you. Page of Pentacles, a new opportunity for securing material resources is coming in. And we're leaving behind burdens and competition. So this would be kind of like the Five of Wands, and you can see the deer fighting among each other. We're going to be able to move very quickly from this Page of Pentacles energy to that Queen of Pentacles energy. So you've already set up a lot of groundwork, it looks like, for this particular financial transformation to take place, Virgo. And that progression will be very quick. We're going from one passive energy to another passive energy, in that the pages are earth elemental and the queens are water elemental. There's a lot more movement with water. The final card for your reading, and I hate to leave it on this because it's very open-ended, but I don't know yet if I will pull clarifiers. Let me talk through this first. So the Judgment card in the reverse, there is going to be a test put before you. And I feel like it has to do with these other reversed cards that we had as well. With the Sun and the Strength card reversed. Some of you might have Leo prominently in your chart. For others of you, Leo might be markedly absent. Now, everybody has Leo somewhere in their chart because of the houses. You might want to see what house Leo is in your chart and what is governed by that house. And that will tell you more on your individual level as to what this judgment showing up will be for you. Just throwing the cards around. So that is going to conclude the Virgo reading. Who is out there fucking yelling? I am so sorry, you guys. I don't know who that person is talking to. So now I'm going to move on to the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn, how's your week been? How have you been doing? How are you feeling? Oh, hi, Kate. Hi, Kara. It's so good to see you. I'm trying out doing the readings later because I feel like more people are able to watch them later. But we'll see how it goes. Now, Capricorn, have you come here for something specific this evening? Or just to join and enjoy? Either is perfectly fine. We're going to talk about that 7 witnesses again. I don't even know what that is. That comes up a lot. It'll just pop into my head. 7 witnesses. Or like 7. Yeah. We'll see what we get for your reading, Capricorn. All right. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I might try to do the live streams more like at night, which is good for ASMR anyway. I just have been trying out different things. Okay, and then these 2. And then maybe we'll take some more if we feel like it's helpful. The timestamp is 48:30. Okay. Let's get through it. All right, so here's some things that you're leaving behind in the past. You could have been a teacher. If you notice, this dog is trying to teach these turkeys how to read, which is kind of ridiculous idea. First of all, how does a dog know how to read? Second of all, how is a dog going to teach something like a turkey how to use the human alphabet? It could have been something that was kind of an uphill battle, but you felt like it was for the right reasons. We have Father Sleep in the reverse. This is a little bit like Kronos, or could be seen as another iteration of the Death card, but with different implications. We have the Sun and Moon there, temporality, more like control over time itself. So there might have been aspects to that situation in which you were quite powerful as well, but only in certain areas. The temporality of things. We also have Frost in the reverse. These could have been things that went down over the winter, or it could have been an exceptional cold snap, like a polar vortex or something like that. It could even be something like if you were working for an air conditioning company at the time, or if you were dealing with snow or ice. We have the Magician. So you prestidigitated your way right out of that situation, Capricorn. Almost like a shedding of the skin. You see that those spirits are like coming out of the person's mouth that way. So now we've got the King of Swords, Endurance, and then another Death card coming out all reversed. There's something that needs to come through with that change being reversed. That maybe you're stalling, maybe somebody else is stalling. It's kind of an endurance contest. And that King of Swords is like the minor arcana justice. So something might be tied up in red tape right now also. And you're running out of energy for it. Peek ahead. It's time to subvert certain traditions. That we're making our own traditions now that are based on things that are relevant in the modern era and not things that are based in ancient history and the past, where we have this bust being swallowed by the sands of time. But you, as Father Sleep, Capricorn, and your control over temporality can do whatever you wish with time. So why change the tradition? For the children, making a better world, for the future, for a new beginning. We have the storyteller and the hermit in the reverse. But this isn't just any hermit. This is more like from one of these Atela style decks, where it's more like a trader, the Capuchin. And then in the reverse, we're talking about false devotions. So the storyteller, you can make up any kind of mythos around something that you want. And especially like if you're creating your own religious order or something like that, we do have the capuchin here. So there are religious connotations to this, that maybe you're starting to find out about a certain practice, that the belief system is not based in anything actual or concrete. I'm trying to figure out where this fits in, so I'll just talk about it. We have the hand of the hunter. So a lot goes into hunting. There's the tracking, there's the scouting, there's following animals around very quietly without disturbing them. And then eventually the hand of the hunter is able to reach out and snatch its prey. This has to do with totems, connections, and faith. Now we do have, coming after that, the Two of Pentacles, which can be about bringing in balance, but can also be about partnerships, especially partnerships in which there are material resources involved. So it seems like the hand of the hunter, you might be headhunting at this time. Someone's getting canceled. The 10 of Attention. But this is going to end up bringing in victory for you. It's going to bring you victory and mobility that you didn't have before that happened. So 10 of Attention could just be like getting oversaturated, and then everybody kind of casts you aside when you're no longer the flavor of the week. 10 of Attention can be getting canceled. It can be getting attention online for all the wrong reasons, and then that blowing up into something that ends up being good in the long run. We have this Page of Wands in the reverse with the Moon. So the Page of Wands is the beginning of a new passion project, potentially. Sometimes Page of Wands will come out for new partners, because it would come out as a lustful or passionate relationship first, and then develop into something more. All kinds of relationships develop in different ways. Sometimes you start out as best friends, sometimes you lust after someone for some time, and then you manage to pin them down. So you're kind of at this time not maybe sure what the next conquest is going to look like. But that can apply to creative projects. It can apply to romantic relationships. And that Page of Wands in the reverse would be perhaps a fear that people are not going to be serious enough. And that's what is making things unclear. Or that there's not going to be enough interest in what you are doing. Let me pull maybe like another card or two just to finish this up for you, Capricorn. Yeah, these ones. So what is going to come after that Moon card? 3 of Wands. All of the energies, for better or worse, that you have put out into the world, and because this card's upright, probably for the better, those energies will be returning to you. We have the Sun upright, and we have the Page of Wands in reverse again. So everything is going to work out perfectly, great success. But there might not be enthusiasm to be had for it. There might not be new passions coming in because these old energies are returning. So that's why the Page of Wands is showing up in the reverse. And because we had to pull clarifiers to get the Three of Wands, it seems like oh, good. Yeah, that guy yelling. I was just seeing your comment now. With that Three of Wands, the energy is returning. You might not recognize at first as being applicable to your situation. You might be looking for something new. So that is going to conclude the Earth sign readings for this week. I'm going to go now over to the member side of the channel and do the crystals crying. Thank you so much for your support. And I look forward to seeing you again. Oh, I'm glad to hear it resonates, Kara. I look forward to seeing you again